All right, Colorado
this weekend, man. What are your thoughts? Get there too. Colorado, Arizona, big time game, man.
Smitty,
I heard Travis is playing.
Smitty, shut up.
You guys are fucking hilarious, man.
Jason.
Quiet down, Darnell. Listen,
I hate
real
you,
quick.
Jason.
Hey, Matt, you're on this show. You're on this show, and we're going to get a viral video. You were on this show, and you said that Travis Hunter is the best player of all time. He could be in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. He's hurt. He got hurt. He got put out in the first half. That's why you and I disagreed. I don't agree that he can play and sustain. Where are you at today as far as what do you project him at what he's currently got to do? And then he's going to go against a great wideout. Have you heard any news? Is he going to play more one side than the other? Is it status quo? He's playing both sides normal? Where you at with what's going on? And if you heard anything, or you can't say, I don't know. But
no, I'll spit whatever I got. I think, based on the information that I've gotten from people, that he's going to play status quo, and if he's going to take time off, it'll be on offense. And they're going to lock him on McMillan. And I think if they're going to do we need to take reps off thing, it's going to be game by game. So this week, their biggest threat is their wide receiver. Next week, when they play Cincinnati, I don't know who their biggest threat is, but maybe he's more of a weapon on offense, and they can use him more as wide receiver. So I think that it's smart to kind of temper it since he got cracked on the shoulder. But look, if he was really hurt, he'd be out. There's a difference between being hurt and injured. He's hurt, not injured. So I'm sure that he'll have a chip on his shoulder too with all the Heisman talk this week, and that he got hurt and he can't do it both ways, blah, 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 all that stuff. That really motivates Travis deep down because he listens and he's on podcast, does his own. Yeah, he was on with RG3 this week talking about Gentry and the Heisman and just everything he says blows up. So,
I'm glad you brought it up. That's gonna be my follow-up question. What were your thoughts after you heard the comments he made about Ashton Gentry saying that, hey, like, he's not the first running back we've seen have crazy numbers before. What I'm doing has never happened, etc. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, other than it's true, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I like cocky motherfuckers. That's why I like you two. Why we get along so well. I
thought that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But
I knew you wouldn't like it, but I don't have a problem.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, though.
It's pretty cocky, but it's not coming from a guy who doesn't back it.
No, I agree. I don't say it's cocky. I don't even think it was cocky. I think it was an ignorant take because running backs are 7 yards in the backfield, Matt, and as I know, the ball gets thrown across the line of scrimmage to receivers. So 95 catches versus 95 carries, it's a lot different. I don't know.
That's all true. All true. Look, he made some good points, and he also I think he probably said some stuff that he sat back and thought on afterwards. I think both of these guys are going to be in New York for the Heisman. This is the breaker for me. I don't think Boise's going to go undefeated, and they're in the Mountain West. So that's going to get used against them. And if CU can figure out how to win 8 or 9 games and he continues on this fucking trail he's on where the midseason All-American team came out yesterday and he's first team defense and first team offense. That's just insane. It's insane. So I think that as the year progresses, if Colorado continues to climb and play good football and he keeps making plays, I think that it's just an eventuality that it's that year. There's no real dominant quarterback other than, Shador and Carson Beck and guys are playing well. Cam Ward, but they're not on a Heisman pace. I don't think.
Yeah, Oregon guy will probably
this is the year where either Gentry wins or Hunter wins. I think that this is a non-quarterback year for a Heisman.
Where we stand right now today, who do you have as your number one Heisman guy right now in this moment?
Travis Hunter, and I don't even think it's close. I think Gentry's a hell of a player. I love what he's doing. I do. But I'm telling you, what Travis is doing on both sides of the ball just can't be ignored. And if he didn't play for, I think playing for CU right now is kind of hurting him because the national narrative, like people are either tired of it or they're all on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a lot of people that are just saying that Gentry's the guy because he plays at Colorado. So, and that's good. Hey, just because he ain't us. That's just the facts. So Travis Hunter is the Heisman front runner in my opinion, and especially after this week when he goes and locks down McMillan. And lockdown could be like 6 catches for 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? That guy's a freak. But still, if he plays well at Arizona and has another big game on national TV, followed up by another 8-15 kick for Cincinnati in the Halloween game. And like Derek Wolf and I are going to do a show up in Boulder, and got a bunch of boys coming in from Cincinnati that I know, Patrick Cote and a bunch of guys. So I'm pretty fucking excited about next week, but it is an 8-15 kickoff again. So it's national TV every week for Travis. It's not national TV every week for Gentry. So that I think eventually that Travis will just take over.
But have you seen a running back do what Gentry's doing?
Is it Gentry or Gentry?
Yeah, I have. Like my redshirt junior year, Chris Brown went for 2,000 yards at CU. Like that was our running back. So yeah, I have seen running backs do this before. I was a kid when Barry Sanders went off in '87 or whatever that was. You know, like that was the Big 8. That's against Nebraska and Colorado and Oklahoma and shit, not Utah State and Nevada. So
yeah, that whole thing right there is what we could have a conversation about this forever. But I want to get your take on the game itself, Arizona game. But like we've seen Marshall Faulk also play at San Diego State and George Jones and
then he didn't win, and he should have won. Marshall Faulk arguably should have won the Heisman, but he didn't because of the conference he played in.
But what I'm saying is like those guys
that year, Gino Torretta.
Yeah, something like that. But those guys went to the NFL though and balled, and then we've seen Reggie Bushes of the world who ripped the Pac-12 and then don't do shit. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
Reggie Bush didn't. He did some shit. Well, he
wasn't who we thought he was.
Right.
He wasn't as good as this draft pick.
And Super Bowl winner. People forget this whole thing. We always forget like the shit's changed. Like there was no FCS, FBS, Power 5, Power 4. When Marshall and LaDainian Tomlinson and Ricky Williams and Bo Jackson and all these guys played, it was whoever was on your fucking schedule. There was no FCS, and they didn't play D2 schools. So it was whoever was on your schedule, and that's how I look at it. If I'm looking through the eyeball test as a personnel guy, as you are, Matt, the guy's doing shit that I haven't seen in a long, long time, if ever.
No, he's killing it.
He's got less carries. At least he's got less carries right now than Barry has, and he's on pace to have 300 more yards and 1 more touchdown. I'm just saying.
Right now, he got 17 touchdowns and over 1,200 yards in 6 games.
Let's dive into Colorado.
He is absolutely killing it, and he deserves everything that's coming to him, and I'm sure he'll be a great pro.
And you missed a name that I'm interested in because, you know, as I know, optically, the voters get into this, especially when there's fucking voters like Condoleezza Rice and these fucking nobodies that have no clue about football.
Condoleezza Rice is a vote?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. She has a vote on the playoff. So let me ask you this. When it comes down to these voters, and she may not, I'm just saying fucking names because these weirdos get votes. Where are you at with Dylan Gabriel, though? Because if Oregon continues to win, you know he's going to be in New York. And that's how it works. That's how it works. So, yeah. So, not in here.
Oregon had a huge win, and I love Dan Lanning manipulating the system and then the little grin. Dan is a fucking pimp, and I love the way he does things. So, I think that Dylan Gabriel will definitely be there because Oregon's pretty fucking good. And I don't know. I mean, their schedule's ruthless. The Big Ten is hard, but
Boise should beat them.
They should get out undefeated and into the playoff and maybe win the Big Ten their first year in it. And if that happens, his ass is going to fucking New York too. So, look, this is going to be a pretty tight Heisman vote. I think it could be as tight as Woodson and Manning, you know. But at the same time, I could also see somebody coming out of nowhere in the next 6 to 8 weeks, kind of like Johnny Manziel did the year that him and Colin Klein and all those boys went to New York, and he won it as a freshman. So
the only guy I can see coming out of nowhere is the Clay Kubnik, because if Clemson keeps rolling like they are on a hot streak, that guy I think can get into the mix. I think it's too late for Ewers at Texas, and if Carson Beck goes into Texas this weekend and wins, he's back in it. Texas guys are out because they've been hurt or split time. And then you got Jalen Milroe. If Alabama goes and wins every other game, he's back in it. So it's going to be
just think about this too. Like the feel-good story is, imagine if Army's undefeated.
Navy.
Because their fucking quarterback, I can't remember his name, but he is a fucking monster. And if they're undefeated, how cool would it be to get a service academy kid at the fucking Heisman again? Because back in the day, Army and Navy, they used to wear fucking Heismans and national titles like crazy. So just think about this. So my boy Joel Klatt on his show was talking about this. Army and Navy could play in the championship game.
Undefeated.
And then a week later play in the Army-Navy game. That's fucking crazy, dude.
His name is Bryson Daly, I think, right?
He's a beast, dude.
Give us your takes for this weekend. Arizona, who's been struggling since they lost their head coach. They kept the QB. They kept the big receiver. Everyone thought they would just status quo. They've really hit rock bottom lately. It seems like they just can't. They got smacked by BYU and
they got hammered by K-State. Yeah.
Yeah, they started off, I knew kind of a struggle. They played New Mexico or New Mexico State, and it was a shootout. And I'm like, I don't know what this team's like. So you expect a shootout? Do you expect a blowout? Do you expect to get them handily? Where are you at with this?
I need CU to show up and beat that ass. Last year, they lost 34-31. Coach Prime iced himself and kicked a field goal that they made, but he called timeout beforehand, and then they went back out there and missed it and lost 34-31. I know that sticks in his crawl. That was a tough one. But last year they ran the ball all over us, almost 300 yards rushing, and I don't see that happening again this year. Although Kansas State just did it, but look, Kansas State beat Arizona 31-7 in Manhattan and dominated the football game. So if CU can play to the level I think they can, and they're pissed off and they're tired of all the hate and all the bullshit and the narrative, I think that they go to Tucson and really take care of business. Now, look, a lot of it depends on health and scheme. I've been talking about this all week. I went off on Pat Schumer on Monday, 10 rushing attempts for 14 total yards, and then all those negative 29 yards rushing because of sacks. It can't happen. I don't give a fuck who your quarterback is. So I've been watching videos all week of Pat Schumer talking about we're going to run the ball and we're going to establish the line of scrimmage and blah, 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 blah. And I really hope to see it because imagine what CU would look like if they had 35 minutes of possession time rather than 25. If Shador had, if you could throw the ball for 300, 325 yards a game and run the ball for 150 yards a game, it's putting your skill players and your quarterback in the best position to be successful. So, look, Arizona's struggling, but they are not weak. The biggest mistake CU can make here is walking into Tucson and thinking that they're not going to get beat. So, Arizona's looking at this. Again, their students, their recruiting section sold out. Everybody's going to this game. It's nationally televised. It's a big moment for Arizona and that new coaching staff. Big moment for their quarterback. Big moment for McMillan. He goes out and routes up Travis Hunter and those boys. It says a lot about him. I think that this is going to be a really competitive football game. I don't expect Arizona to lay down at all. They're playing at home on national TV. So I expect CU to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's, 41-34 or, 38-31, something like that. Arizona's not going to just lay down. But at the same time, I think CU could go out there and play really well, make them one-dimensional. Because the defense is very inconsistent, but when they play well, they play well. So we'll see.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see this one. They got to win. Arizona's trying to find a win. It's one of those teams you get back against the wall. Those are scary ones, like Matt just mentioned. Don't go in there lightly because this team is trying to get a win and get back on the. And they got a QB and a wideout they think are NFL guys over there. So.
CU's got a chance to be bowl eligible going to Lubbock. So if they can beat Arizona and Tucson and they come back and get a win over Cincinnati at home, and Cincinnati's a good team, they're 4-2, but you would expect CU at home to be favored and win that game. They're going to Lubbock at 4-1 in conference, 6-2 overall, bowl eligible, and you go to Lubbock and win that game. I mean, it puts you right back in the forefront of fighting for the Big 12 title. So this is about to get really fucking interesting.
Hey, I saw your podcast where you mentioned with Bailey that you went off on Shermer and you were blaming Shermer and blah, blah, blah. But this is why you and I disagree all the time because I don't believe it's a Shermer issue. This is Deion Sanders' issue. Daddy ball with his son. No, you're going to throw the ball at my son. That's why you lost an OC already to San Diego State. I am totally disagreeing with you. I love your take on it. I just think that's Deion mandating that we get this guy exploited for the NFL, rightfully so, as far as exploiting him as far as a quarterback. But at the same time, it hurts your team, in my opinion. I believe that's coming from the head coach. I believe it's coming from the head coach.
So look, I'm gonna agree with you and disagree with you.
Two things can't be true.
I don't know if it's. I don't know where the narrative's coming from. Although Deion is the head coach. That said, I don't see anybody in the National Football League in the shotgun every play, just throwing the ball all over the yard.
That's my point.
I watched the game. I watched the game last night. Young quarterback under center. They ran the fuck out of the ball. He was running all over the place. They made a couple of really big throws, played good defense, got the fuck out of there, and won 33-10. Broncos did. So, Caleb Williams has a good running game with Swift. Jaden Daniels has a good running game with fucking Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. Like, Drake May has Dick. New England's terrible. But like
Ramondre Stevenson.
Well, still they can run the ball. Like, I think that the best way to help Shedeur, especially because he's Tom Brady centric and like he that's the way he thinks, at least that's the way what he says. Like that's his guy that he models after. Tom Brady is the best under center quarterback ever. Like Peyton Manning did everything from the gun. Tom Brady went under center and would just back up into the gun. Tom Brady would call everything at the line of scrimmage. Tom Brady had dominant running games damn near every time he won a Super Bowl. So I think if I'm Coach Prime and I've been advocating for this, it's not like one thing that bothered me about what Pat said was I need the players to go out and move people. Well, I need the coaches to go out and scheme some run game. Like if we're in shotgun all the time, why are we not running trap? Why do we not run double pull counter? Why are we not running gator outside? Why don't our run game and our screens look the same at times? Why is it that we don't have any like variation in power or just straight ISO, just getting man on man and running vertical?
Because Matt, let me cut you off right there.
Has to fit the talent though too. So why don't they just support two more?
But isn't that you and I are both O-line guys when it comes down to calling offense, and offensive line guys think. And I'm a quarterback guy, but obviously I catered over to O-line because I love the battles and the wars and the X's and the O's in that area. You gotta have a mentality though.
That's true. You gotta breed it.
And I'm not gonna create that mentality in a fucking 2-point stance, kick stepping for every day.
No, you're not.
And at least if I don't get my 2 guards in 3-point and hat to hip, and I get some fucking push, and I'm trying to get to that linebacker depth, I don't think we're ever going to have that. You can't just say, I need guys to push. You can't push them without mentality.
Well, that's my point with Pat is like he's saying I need the players to play better, and my thing would be, well, I need you to put us in position to be better.
I think Deion's telling
you need to allow it. You need to put in scheme that we can actually execute. And look, all this like, well, they can't put a new scheme in a week. What? They're professional coaches. What kind of fucking JV shit is that? Of course they can. If they want to, they'll do it. So
I just think they cater to the guy that's in the shotgun. That's more.
Well, obviously they are. And look,
he's comfortable.
When you have that kind of advantage, you have to take advantage of it. But I think that they could be even more lethal if they just figure out a way to run the ball average. Just run the ball average, 125, 130 yards a game in college is not that much. That's all I'm saying. Like, think about it like this.
Yards. I don't even care if you get yards. I would run the ball.
Just carries. Yeah, fuck, man.
I used to get smacked, man. I knew I was going to lose. Their D-line was better than us. I knew their back was better. But I was like, I'm going to keep running.
You just got to fucking do it. You have to do it. Eventually, you're going to break one. And think about it like this. Just take your CU glasses off for a second and put Shedeur Sanders on Kansas State last week. And he's got that running game and that offense, and all he's got to do is just play action and go back there and find guys. I mean, Kansas State being a national title contender, not a Big 12 title contender. So with the kind of skill players CU has and the quarterback they have, they should be figuring out how to diversify the offense to make him more comfortable now to go play in the NFL. Because what he's doing right now is not going to translate to the league. No fucking way. I don't care where he goes. You drop back 50 times in the NFL, all right, and you're in gun the whole time, he's going to get fucking murdered.
Destroyed. And I know you got to go right now.
I don't care who.
Throwing the ball too long too, Matt. And that's something that Steve talked about. Like part of those sacks he got like in the last game, it's not all on the O-line. Some of that's like he's trying to play.
They gave up 6 sacks, Smitty, and only 4 of them were attributed to Shedeur.
Right.
So, like, look, everybody's got something to fix, and all the prime sexuals that get angry about me, criticizing, like, stick it in your ass, dog. Give me a break. This is played out. So, look, the University of Colorado has a really legit chance to obtain goals that they haven't obtained in a long time, and they've got the personnel to do it. And, when you've got the best quarterback in the country, arguably, and you've got the guy who's going to win the Heisman, arguably, and the defense is playing better, the next step is just bringing it all together. So that means that the scheme and the running game needs to complement, and I'm really hoping it does, because negative 29 yards rushing is embarrassing, and it needs to be fixed. That's all I'm saying.
No doubt. Hey, well, good luck tomorrow. Good luck with your boy tonight. Grand Junction. I used to take that drive from Hayes, Kansas to Grand Junction all the time.
It is ruthless.
That's a D2 travel right there. That's
we're playing at Mesa State, so that's pretty cool.
That's all right.
But hey, we'll be doing a watch party tomorrow for the game, 2 p.m. Bailey and I'll be on, so come over to the YouTube channel and check it out.
Okay, all right. Watch party.
You gonna be there, Smitty?
I'm gonna be at your crib.
We'll turn it on. We can turn it on one TVs.
Me, you, Steve, Kim, Weddle.
Yeah, if you guys want to come on during the watch party and talk some shit, let me know.
But you didn't say you was gonna watch it though, homie.
Send us a link, man. You're gonna be tuned in.
I'm just saying, if you two idiots want to come on the show and talk some shit during the game, let me know.
Smitty didn't say he was gonna come on though.
We're gonna be high and drunk. I'm gonna be at JB house tomorrow at 9:35 a.m. in the morning. We're gonna be fixing wings, ribs. We got motherfucking onion rings. We got his famous barbecue baked beans. We got beer. We got liquor. Send us the link. JB and I gonna join in.
I dig this.
I don't get high though. I don't get high though.
I get high off life, homie.
Hey Matt, we missed we missed the fucking topic though. We got to get back to, but there's apparently some atheists are pissed off.
Oh, dude, this is the best.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
Look, as a godless heathen atheist, these granola motherfuckers need to shut up. All right, like you're gonna fucking like go after him for praying now, Samantha Lawrence. You're going to get an attorney and be like, oh, you can't pray in the football room. Just shut up, bitch. Go away. Go away. If they want to pray, let them pray. If they don't want to pray, don't pray.
Why you can't pray? Why is she even
Why can't he pray?
Yeah, why is she
as an atheist, as a guy who thinks when you die, you die, I haven't been blessed with faith yet, okay? And I'll just wait until it happens. But I'll tell you this.
I feel it a little bit.
Like, I'll tell you this, just as much as I hate overzealous religious people that point at me and they're like, you're a bad person because you don't believe, I fucking hate people that also are on the other side of the fence that are like, well, I know what I know, and you did this and that, and you can't pray. What the fuck difference does it make to you if he prays with his team or not? He's a man of God. I've been in the locker room multiple times when they did their prayers. I walk out with goosebumps ready to run through a fucking wall. It's more than just praying with your team. It's how it's coming together. It's it's all of us locking hands together.
The face hitting Matt. The face hitting Matt. You ever been to church, Smitty? Smitty, you been to black church, homie? God damn.
I am black church, homie. Fuck you talking
about?
I am that.
Smitty. Like, I don't know. Like, Smitty, you can help me with this. I said this on my show yesterday with Bailey. I don't know any black dudes, any brothers that I played with that aren't religious. I don't know any. Not one. And that's just the foundation of community and culture, and that's a good thing. That rubs off on people. When we all take hands and we embrace and we say, our Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, and will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our
daily bread.
Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. He's like, let's fucking go. Exactly, dog. Like it gets you going. So I can't believe that people. Yeah, take it off, man. I can't believe people are still this. I guess this is my question, and then I'll shut up. And I gotta go. Why in the fuck does everyone just want to keep their fat nose in everyone else's business all the time? Like, we're already talking about sports. Now we're talking about praying. Really?
I don't know.
In Boulder again? You already did this with Coach McCartney fucking 30 years ago. And, like, he had to stop doing prayers with the team because, people were getting offended. Hey, people in Boulder, pick one. What the fuck? Like, what is wrong with you people? Shut the fuck up.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
I guarantee you this. This lady has armpit hair, dreads, wears Jerusalem Troopers, and is a granola motherfucker. So shut up, bitch. and let Coach Prime pray.
Weirdo. It's all across. We get high school coaches getting fired for doing prayer and shit. So it's like, it's fucking unbelievable, man. But
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Matt, appreciate you.
I'm gonna pray for her.
I'll pray for you, Samantha.
I won't pray for her.
I'll pray to the God of skinny punks.
I'm not praying for her. I'm gonna splash her on the side of the road and fucking puddle.
Well, she'll be on the side of the road with a fucking, them, they, us, we sign.
Yeah,
so.
I give a fuck. I give a fuck less about these fucking people, man. I hope they should go over to fucking Hamas and go deal with them, you fucks. All right, man. I'll see you Monday.
Have a good day, boys.